G'day everybody, this is Grandad Jack and I'm back. Anyway, I have some things that I just wanted to mention on this video. And I've got to stop saying that R word, you know. But I'll get better, I'm sure of it. I'd like to thank a couple of people. Well, actually, I'd like to thank all the people who've subscribed so far. I read the comments and I wish I could just sort of gather everybody together and chat to you all and say, hey, thank you. You know, this is kind of cool. I'd love to meet you all. Be great. But, you know, there's one guy who's even a coal miner in somewhere, Pennsylvania or somewhere. And he's talking about how on the railroad over there, they call the points, the switches, the turnouts. He said they call them switches too. So that's cool. Railroad terminology from the other side of the world. How good is that? Anyway, I'd like to thank Jazza, who happens to be my son, for putting that great video up that he did on a project we did when I taught Jazza how to weld, and he really enjoyed that, and it was kind of fun, to be honest. So I'd like to thank him for doing that. And so that's on Jazza Studios, and you can watch it on his channel. And it's pretty cool, actually. So the other one is Shad Diversity, Shad being one of my other sons. I have 6 kids, 4 boys, 2 girls. And he has a channel on YouTube called The Shadlands. And so you'll see Grandad Jack on the Shadlands as well, because that's kind of where it started. He wanted me to be involved in his building things on his land, and he asked me to help. And so he said, what name will we call you? And I said, well, I'm the Jack of all trades, so why don't we call me Jack? So they ended up calling me Grandad Jack, which I think I'm kind of entitled to because I have a grandkid or two. And so they call me Grandad Jack, which is fine. I think it's cool. Anyway, also, interestingly enough, Asher, who's my oldest son, he and Jazza and Shad had this competition doing some archery to see who could shoot the longest arrow. And this is one of Shad's videos that he had on Shad Diversity on his channel about how to shoot the longest arrow in medieval times or whatever. And Asher was the one who won that competition. Jazz didn't win and Shad came second or something. And so Asher put up a video called Archery with Asher. He only ever made the one video, but it got like 20,000 views, but he never made any more. So maybe somebody needs to tell that boy he should make some more videos or something. Anyway, there you go. I got very artistic kids, but the thing is, I get that from someone as well, and that was my dad. He used to make stuff all the time. He was a fitter and turner by trade. And then he did a carpentry apprenticeship with his dad. So my dad was a builder, his dad was a builder, his dad was a builder, and his dad was a builder, so to speak. So he was a builder and built houses, and that's where I learnt my trade. But Dad used to do whittling as well. He and Mum migrated to the US, Canada and the US, when they first got married, back in who knows when, a long time ago. And they went by ship because they didn't have plane travel in those days. And Dad, when he was in the US, he learnt to whittle, carve wood with a knife. And he was really good at it. And a number of years ago, 2009, there was some big bushfires in Victoria, Australia, and my parents' house got swept up in that and they lost their home and everything in it. And the only thing that my dad saved when they were running out of the house, when the fires were about to engulf their house, Mum grabbed some jewellery and some, no, she didn't get the photos. And Dad said he saw this carving on the wall that he did. He whittled it when he was young, and it was an ornament called Pecos Bill, and it was like this comic cowboy riding a horse with a big cactus behind it. And that was, I don't have a photo of it or anything. I think my sister does. But he said as he's going out the door, he could hear Pecos Bill saying, "Don't leave me here." So he grabbed Pecos Bill as he went out the door. And you know, that was the only thing my dad saved out of the bushfires. They lost everything. They lost their home, lost his workshop, which was his life. Dad didn't last much longer after that, a few years, and then he passed away. I think it was all a bit too much, you know. But anyway, it was interesting that happened. But he was a master of making all sorts of things, and I got that from him. So he could build just about anything. And I remember he used to help me build cubby houses, and I used to like digging tunnels under the ground going everywhere. So he'd help me do that as well. And he was a great man. So I get that from my dad. So you see Jazza and Shad and Asher and all these, my kids, do stuff on YouTube. Skylar has a YouTube channel too. So Skylar has a YouTube channel as well called Learning Brave, as opposed to Living Brave. It's Learning Brave. She also has a website with her artwork on it. She does beautiful art. So that's learningbrave.com.au. So if you want to meet one of my daughters, you can meet her on YouTube and on her website as well, Learning Brave, and that's Skylar. So I have some interesting kids, which is great. So this is a recent picture of my kids when they're all grown up. So we've got Jazza from Jazza Studios on the right, and we've got Shad from Shad Diversity and the Shadlands next to Jazza, and then there's Skylar, and then there's the other kids on the left, and Asher's the one with the archery. Anyway, some of the other things I do or I've done, I'm just showing people a bit of what I've done. I've got some projects on the go at the moment that I'm filming, and I'll put those up soon. One is building an arbor for some people, as in for a garden. Another is building a window model railroad, a window layout, a model railroad for a window display for a train world in Melbourne, Australia. And they want a model railroad in their window, and so I'm currently building that for them. There's so many things you can do, and I just like doing stuff, and that's who I am, Grandad Jack. So that's a little bit more of a history of myself and my kids and my family, who you've seen a lot of on YouTube already. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. So please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.